Welcome to the ultimate automotive showdown, a high-speed, rubber-burning duel between 9 of the most powerful supercars on Earth. In one corner, the titans of American muscle, armed with massive displacement and brute force, featuring legends like the Dodge Viper and Corvette 06. In the other, the champions of the world, wielding high-revving finesse and turbocharged precision from icons like Ferrari and Porsche. On the hallowed asphalt of a top-secret desert proving ground, we sought to answer the question, in an all-out war of performance, who would be crowned king? There are proving grounds, and then there is paradise. For any gearhead with high octane, fuel pumping through their veins, Ford's top-secret desert proving grounds is unequivocally the latter. Imagine a place, hidden from the world in the sun-baked expanse of Arizona, built for the singular purpose of pushing the world's most powerful machines to their absolute limits. It's an automotive sanctuary featuring a 5-mile, high-banked oval of perfectly manicured, high-grip asphalt. The corners are banked at a breathtaking 31 degrees, so exquisitely engineered that a car can navigate them at 135 miles per hour, with the driver's hands completely off the steering wheel. It's a place with 24-hour support staff, awesome tools, cheap gas, and even somehow outside air conditioning to fight the desert heat. Could it get any better? Unquestionably, yes. You start by assembling 9 of the fastest, most powerful, most desirable supercars on Earth. You gather a team of professional drivers, pack racing suits and helmets, and arrange for a brand-new 37-foot Fleetwood Discovery luxury motorhome to serve as your rolling command center. Then instead of trailering the cars, you embark on an epic convoy, a 300-mile pilgrimage from Los Angeles to the high-security gates outside Kingman, Arizona. 300 miles of open road, 2-lane passing, desert-blasting ecstasy, a symphony of V8s, a wailing V10, and a turbocharged flat 6 echoing off the canyon walls. After a journey that would be a lifetime highlight for most, it was finally time for the real fun to begin. It was time to go really, really fast. Any street racer knows the ritual. You size up the competition, ask the classic question, what are you running under the hood? And then let the pavement decide the truth. In this high-stakes game, it wasn't just a couple of punks in a parking lot. It was 9 global automakers, each bringing their champion to the ring. With a collective of over 3,500 horsepower itching to be unleashed, this was a battle of engineering philosophies, a true USA versus the World Horsepower War. Dodge Viper GTS, the undisputed king of no replacement for displacement. The Viper was, and is, an automotive sledgehammer. Its gargantuan 8.0-liter V10 engine is a testament to old-school, brute-force engineering. With a measly 2 valves per cylinder and an in-block camshaft, it was an engine of pure, unadulterated muscle, churning out a colossal 460 horsepower and a stump-pulling 500-odd lb-ft of torque. It was intimidating, raw, and utterly American. Shelby, Series 1, Carroll Shelby's modern successor to the Cobra. This car represented a blend of American philosophies. It started with a 4.0-liter Oldsmobile Aurora DOHC V8, a relatively small, high-tech engine by domestic standards. Then, in true Shelby fashion, a Vortex centrifugal supercharger was bolted on, force-feeding the engine to an estimated 450 horsepower. It was a sophisticated design, wrapped in a raw, visceral package that screamed with an exhaust note straight out of 1965. Ford SVT Cobra R, Ford's special vehicle team created a monster. This was not a street car with a track package, it was a track car barely civilized for the street. Taking the Big Cube's philosophy and blending it with European-style overhead cams, the Cobra R boasted a 5.4-liter DOHC 32-valve V8. Stuffed. With a forged steel crank, Carrillo billet rods, and aggressive cams, it breathed through a low-restriction Borla exhaust that sounded like the starting grid at Daytona. The result was 385 horsepower of pure high-revving aggression. Chevrolet Corvette Z06, the giant killer. The Z06 took the already potent C5 Corvette and turned it into a precision instrument of speed. Its 5.7-liter LS6 V8 was a highly modified version of the standard LS1, featuring a revised valve train, tougher pistons, a hotter cam, and even exotic titanium exhaust components. It produced a screaming 385 horsepower and delivered a level of handling and braking that put European exotics on notice, all for a fraction of the price. Pontiac Firehawk, the blue-collar muscle car of the group. Built by SLP Engineering, the Firehawk took a Trans Am and cranked it up. Its 5.7-liter LS1 V8, enhanced with a cold air intake, produced a stout 335 horsepower. While the least powerful car in the test, it was a bulldog, ready to prove that classic American performance was alive and well. Team World, the art of finesse, revs, and forced induction. Porsche 911. Turbo, Germany. The clinical assassin. Porsche's approach has always been one of relentless, efficient engineering. The 911 Turbo featured a relatively small 3.6-liter DOHC flat-six engine, but with twin turbochargers and intercoolers, it produced a heavyweight's punch, 415 horsepower, and a massive 415 lb-ft of torque, available from an incredibly low 2,700 arm. Combined with all-wheel drive, it was the all-weather supercar, ready to deploy its power with brutal efficiency. Ferrari 360 Modena, Italy, the artist. For Ferrari, an engine is as much a sculpture as it is a machine. The 3.6-liter V8, displayed under glass, was a masterpiece of high-revving technology. With 40 valves and magical airflow, it produced a symphony of sound, screaming its way to 395 horsepower at a stratospheric 8,500 RPM. It lacked the low-end torque of its American rivals, but to drive a Ferrari is to live in the upper rev range, a lesson any owner must learn to truly appreciate its genius. BMW Z8, Germany, the Enigma. The Z8 was a stunning blend of philosophies. It had the beautiful retro-Italian lines of a classic roadster, the heart of an American muscle car, and the engineering precision of a German performance machine. Under its long hood was the same glorious 5.0-liter DOHC V8 from the M5 sedan, a wonder screamer that produced 394 horsepower and a wholly un-German muscular exhaust note. Cavalli Mangusta, Italy, USA, the international hybrid. With a body designed. In Italy, the Mangusta was an exotic sports car with a surprising secret under the hood, an all-American heart. It was powered by the same 4.6-liter, 32-valve DOHC V8 found in the Ford Mustang Cobra, producing 320 horsepower. It was a fascinating blend of cultures, bringing a dose of reliable American muscle to the world of quirky Italian design, the decathlon of speed. This test was more than just a drag race. It was an automotive decathlon, a grueling series of events, designed to expose every strength and weakness. On the searing asphalt of the proving grounds, we put the cars through their paces. The first event was pure, unadulterated acceleration. The launch control systems of the modern era were years away. This was about brute traction and driver skill. The all-wheel drive Porsche 911 Turbo and the monstrously powerful Viper leaped off the line with shocking violence, pinning drivers to their seats. The high-revving Ferrari required a delicate touch to avoid bogging down, while the Z06 and Cobra R rewarded aggressive clutch-slipping launches. Next came the ultimate test, the top speed run on the 5-mile oval. Here, raw horsepower and aerodynamics reigned supreme. As speeds climbed past 150, 160, and 170 mph, the world outside became a blur. The banking of the track pulled the cars down, gluing them to the asphalt as the engines screamed at the top of their lungs. It was a test of courage as much as engineering, pushing both man and machine to their absolute zenith. But speed is nothing without control. We devised a handling course to test braking, cornering, and overall agility. Here, the lighter, more balanced cars fought back. The Ferrari 360 danced through the corners with a ballerina's grace. The Porsche 911 Turbo used its all-wheel drive grip to claw its way out of turns with incredible stability. The Corvette Z06 was the surprise, showcasing a level of poise and braking power that defied its blue-collar roots and directly challenged the Europeans. The mighty Viper, while immensely grippy, required a firm and respectful hand to keep its raw power in check. The Star Player, a deeper look at the BMW Z8. Amidst this sea of incredible machines, the BMW Z8 stood out as something truly special. On paper, it was a two-seat roadster. In reality, it was a characterful blend of cultures that defied easy categorization. The body lines were a clear homage to classic Italian roadsters of the 1960s. The interior, with its unique banjo-spoke steering wheel and center-mounted gauges, felt more like a quirky product of a vintage carrozzeria than a modern, ergonomically perfect German car. After 10 minutes behind the wheel, a list of ergonomic annoyances had begun to form. Then, the engine started. One powerful rap of the 5.0-liter, 394-horsepower V8, and the list of complaints became utterly irrelevant. Switching off the stability control, peeling rubber through the first 3 gears, the Z8 revealed its true soul. It wasn't a car about cup holders or perfect switchgear. It was a car about power, style, and raw, unadulterated emotion. It was the modern embodiment of a classic formula, a sexy European body stuffed with a thumping high-performance V8. It was, in essence, a German-built Iso Grifo, a car built for dreamers. With only 400 slated to come to the States at a price of $128,000, it was an instant and desirable classic. The final verdict after days of high-speed passes, tire-smoking corners, and punishing desert heat, the dust finally settled. So who won this testosterone-laden USA versus the world shootout? The truth is, there was no single victor, but a series of champions, each representing the pinnacle of their nation's automotive philosophy. The Dodge Viper was the undisputed king of intimidation, a master of brute force. The Porsche 911 Turbo was the master of usable speed, a technological marvel that could be brutally fast in any condition. The Ferrari 360 was the champion of the senses, an emotional and auditory masterpiece. But perhaps the biggest story was the incredible performance of the American contenders. The Ford SVT Cobra R was a raw, thrilling track weapon. The Shelby Series 1 was a wild, supercharged beast. And the Corvette Z06 was the revelation of the test. It delivered performance that was neck and neck with the far more expensive European exotics, proving that world-class speed and handling didn't require a 6-figure price tag. This shootout captured a glorious, specific moment in time, the turn of the millennium. It was an era before paddle shifters became ubiquitous, before complex electronic aids began to sanitize the driving experience. This was a battle of raw, analog machines, a high-speed duel between the American philosophy of massive muscular power and the European doctrine of high-revving finesse and sophisticated technology. In the end, both sides proved that their approach could create breathtaking results, leaving us with a collection of automotive legends and the enduring memory of an epic clash of titans. In the end, this epic clash proved there is no single path to performance perfection. The battle between American iron and European exotica was not a victory for one side, but a stunning showcase of differing philosophies. The Viper was the king of raw power, the Ferrari a master of sensory delight, and the Z06 a giant killer of incredible value. This shootout captured a brilliant moment in time, a final, glorious stand for analog supercars before the digital age would change them forever, leaving us with the timeless verdict that true greatness comes in many spectacular forms.